I never thought a ringing phone could end my life as I knew it. It was just an ordinary Tuesday night. My husband Michael and I, along with our kids Emily and Jacob, were finishing dinner in our quiet suburban home. The grilled chicken was still warm on the table, the mashed potatoes half-eaten in front of little Jacob. Emily, in her favorite pink pajamas, was giggling about something silly her brother had said. Everything felt safe, normal. Until the landline rang at exactly 9:47 p.m. Unknown number. Michael smiled and put it on speaker so the kids could say hello, thinking it might be one of our relatives calling to chat. "Hello?" he said casually. A calm male voice answered, warm and friendly. "Good evening, Thompsons. I hope the grilled chicken was as good as it smelled." My fork froze halfway to my mouth. "Sarah, that's me." I felt ice crawl up my spine. How could anyone outside this house know what we were eating? The kids looked at us, confused but still smiling. The voice continued smoothly, as if we were old friends. "Emily looks so cute in those pink pajamas tonight. And Jacob, that bowl of mashed potatoes in front of you is getting cold. Oh, and careful with that faint scratch mark on the dining table. The one only your family knows about." My heart slammed against my ribs. No stranger could know these tiny details. Not the color of Emily's pajamas, not Jacob's bowl, not the tiny scratch we'd made years ago when moving furniture. Michael's face went pale. "Who is this?" he demanded. "Look up," the stranger, his tone still polite. We all did. Then we heard it. Slow, deliberate footsteps creaking directly above us, in the children's bedroom. The voice chuckled softly, like a gentle uncle sharing a joke. "I've been waiting for you to pick up. I've been here since you left for work this morning. Keep talking, or I start with the little one." The voice kept talking, describing exactly what was happening in the room above us. The teddy bear on Emily's bed just fell. Now I'm opening Jacob's closet, slowly. And every time he spoke, we heard the sounds matching perfectly. The soft thud of the teddy bear, the creak of the closet door. It was as if he was narrating his own movements in real time, right above our heads. We stayed on that call for 12 agonizing minutes. Michael tried to keep the man talking while I whispered to the kids to stay quiet. My hands shook so badly I could barely hold the phone. The stranger never raised his voice. He stayed calm, almost soothing, which made it even worse. He told us what color the curtains were, how many toys were scattered on the floor, even the exact spot where Emily had spilled juice last week. "Please," I begged at one point, my voice cracking. "Just leave us alone." He laughed softly again. "But I'm already home." When we finally heard sirens in the distance, the voice sighed like a disappointed parent. "Time's up. Remember, I was here all day, watching, waiting." The line went dead. The police arrived within minutes. They searched the entire house, guns drawn, flashlights cutting through the darkness. We waited outside with the kids wrapped in blankets, hearts pounding. They found nothing at first. No broken windows, no forced entry. Then one officer came down from upstairs, his face grim. "The attic window was wide open," he said, "and the phone line. It had been spliced from inside the house. Someone was here. Someone who knew exactly how to stay hidden. We moved out the next day, sold the house at a loss. But even now, years later, I can't shake the feeling. Sometimes late at night, our new phone rings. Unknown number. I never answer it, because deep down I know that calm voice is still out there, and he might already be waiting in the next house. He knew everything about us that night, what we ate, what we wore, the tiny secrets only a family shares. What if he's still watching? What if he never really left? I still don't know how he got inside our lives that night. My name is Olivia. 2 years ago, on our second wedding anniversary, my husband Ryan and I were in our high-rise apartment, laughing and eating cake at 11 p.m. The city lights sparkled outside the big windows. Everything felt perfect, romantic, safe. Then my phone buzzed with a WhatsApp video call from an unknown international number. I almost ignored it, but Ryan smiled and said, "Maybe it's a wrong number. Put it on speaker. It'll be funny." I answered, expecting some confused stranger. The screen showed a man sitting in a completely dark room. His face kept glitching like bad internet, but his voice came through crystal clear. And it was Ryan's voice, exactly the same tone, the same little laugh at the end of sentences. "Baby, it's me," he said. "I'm in the bathroom right now, but I wanted to show you something." Ryan was standing right beside me in the living room. We both stared at the phone, confused. The video feed suddenly split into two parts. One half still showed the glitching man. The other half showed live footage of our own bedroom, from a camera angle high up near the ceiling. A camera we had never installed. My stomach dropped. The stranger, still using Ryan's voice, started narrating everything we did in real time. Olivia just bit her lip the way she does when she's nervous. Now Ryan is stepping closer to the phone. In 3, 2, 1, I let out a nervous laugh exactly when he predicted it. "You both look so happy tonight," he said softly, "but you won't be in 7 minutes." Ryan lunged forward to end the call. His finger hit the red button, but the screen froze. Nothing happened. Then the lights in our apartment began flickering, on and off, in the exact rhythm the stranger was describing on the video. I'm not outside the building. I'm already inside the walls. Check the wardrobe. We didn't want to, but fear made us move. Ryan grabbed my hand and we slowly walked toward the bedroom closet. My heart was hammering so loud I could hear it in my ears. As we opened the wardrobe door, the split screen on the phone showed something impossible. The stranger was now standing right behind us in the same room, smiling at the camera. But when we spun around, the wardrobe door was still closed. No one was there. The man on the phone gently with Ryan's voice. "See, I'm closer than you think." Every move we made, he predicted it seconds before we did. When Ryan tried to pull the curtains shut, the voice said, "Too late. The lights will go out in 4, 3, 2. The entire apartment plunged into darkness exactly on time. I screamed. Ryan kept trying to turn the phone off, but it wouldn't die. The glitching face kept talking calmly, telling us what we were doing, even in the pitch black. Olivia is backing toward the wall. Ryan is reaching for the flashlight in the drawer. Careful, the drawer is stuck. And it was. We huddled together on the floor, shaking, while this stranger described the fear on our faces, the way my breathing sounded, the exact second Ryan would start crying. Then, without warning, the power cut out completely. The phone screen went black at the same moment. The call disconnected. We sat in total darkness for what felt like hours until the emergency lights finally kicked in. Ryan immediately checked the whole apartment. No broken windows, no forced doors. The wardrobe was empty. There was no hidden camera anywhere we could find. But the next morning, when the building manager reviewed the security footage from the hallway, he found something that still keeps me awake. There was no one entering or leaving our floor after 10 p.m., except for one strange glitch in the video. At exactly 11:15 p.m., the camera outside our door flickered for 3 seconds, the same way the man's face had glitched on the call. We moved out 2 weeks later, changed our numbers, changed cities. Yet sometimes, late at night, my phone lights up with a WhatsApp video call from an unknown international number. I never answer it, because I still hear that calm voice in my nightmares, using my husband's voice, predicting every move I make before I make it. He wasn't calling from far away. He was already inside. And the worst part? Even now, when Ryan and I are alone, I sometimes catch myself wondering, is the man on the other end of the line still watching us right now? I still wake up hearing that voice every night. My name is Jessica Miller. That evening started like any other normal Tuesday. My husband David and I were sitting at the dining table helping our 7-year-old twins, Lily and Lucas, with their homework. Lily was coloring her math sheet, while Lucas kept kicking his feet under the table. The house smelled of fresh cookies we had baked earlier. Everything felt warm and safe. Then my phone rang. The screen showed Lincoln Elementary School. It was already past 8 p.m., way after school hours. I answered quickly, thinking something might be wrong. A calm, professional voice came through. It sounded exactly like Mrs. Harper, the school principal. "Mrs. Miller, there's been an accident. Your daughter is with us, but we need you to stay on the line and follow instructions." I froze. Lily was sitting right there on the couch, swinging her legs and humming. "What are you talking about? My daughter is home with me." The voice continued smoothly. "We have her twin brother too, but he's not at school anymore." David's face turned white. Lucas was also right beside us, drawing circles on his paper. My hands started shaking so hard I almost dropped the phone. While we stared at each other in total confusion, the caller began speaking again. This time the voice changed. It started reciting the exact bedtime story David had told the twins the night before, word for word. Once upon a time, little Moonbeam and Starlight went on an adventure. It even used the silly private nickname Moonbeam for Lily and Starlight for Lucas, names only David and I ever used when the kids were asleep. "How do you know that?" David shouted. The voice stayed polite and steady. "Look at the window." We all turned slowly toward the big glass doors that opened into our backyard garden. There, standing completely still under the moonlight, was a small figure wearing Lucas's exact school uniform, blue shirt, gray shorts, even the same red backpack. The boy was holding a phone to his ear, staring straight at us. The caller, but this time it was with Lucas's high, childish voice. "Daddy, I never left the house. I've just been waiting for you to answer." Lucas, our real Lucas, started crying and hid behind David. The figure outside didn't move, but every single thing we did inside, it copied perfectly. When I raised my hand to my mouth in shock, the boy in the garden raised his hand too, at the exact same second. When David stepped forward, the figure stepped forward. When Lily whimpered, the boy outside whimpered in the same tiny voice. We stayed frozen on that call for 20 long, terrifying minutes. The voice kept switching, sometimes sounding like the principal, sometimes like our son, sometimes like a soft whisper that knew things no one else could know. It described the color of Lily's socks, the half-finished cookie on the table, even the tiny rip in the couch cushion that we had hidden with a pillow. "Please," I begged, tears running down my face, "just tell us what you want." The voice answered gently, "I want you to remember this night forever." Then, without any warning, the line went dead. The garden suddenly became empty. The figure simply vanished. 1 second it was there, phone to its ear, mimicking us. The next second, nothing but dark grass and moonlight. David ran outside with a flashlight. The police arrived 10 minutes later. They searched the entire yard, the fence, the trees. There were no footprints in the soft soil, no broken branches, nothing. But when they checked our security camera that pointed toward the garden, the footage showed something impossible. At the exact moment the call started, the camera glitched for 3 seconds. When the video came back, the small figure was already standing there. And when the call ended, it disappeared in another glitch. No movement, no running away. Just gone. We never found any explanation. The school confirmed no one had called us. Mrs. Harper had left at 4 p.m. and was at home with her own family. We moved out of that house 3 weeks later, sold it cheap, told everyone we needed a fresh start. But here's what still terrifies me the most. Sometimes, late at night, when the twins are asleep and the house is quiet, my phone lights up with a call from Lincoln Elementary School. The screen shows the same unknown number. I never answer it anymore because I know if I do, I might hear that sweet little boy's voice again saying, "Mommy, I never really left." And I'm scared that one day when I look at my real son sitting on the couch, he might smile at me with the same empty stare the figure in the garden had. What if the boy who came home that night wasn't really Lucas? What if the real one is still waiting outside, watching, every single night? I still hear my own voice begging me to run. My name is Sophia. That night should have been perfect. Ethan and I were engaged, living together in our cozy apartment, and we were cooking late-night pasta to celebrate nothing special. Just us, laughing, music playing softly. The smell of garlic and tomato sauce filled the kitchen. Everything felt warm and safe. Then Ethan's phone rang at 11:47 p.m. The number had too many digits, like it came from somewhere that didn't exist. He shrugged and put it on speaker so we could both hear the confused person on the other end. The voice that came through was unmistakably mine, but older, hoarse, cracked with pure terror. "Ethan, whatever you do, do not open the balcony door after this call. He's already in the building." I was standing right next to Ethan stirring the pasta. I froze. My own voice was coming out of the phone, but it sounded like I had been screaming for hours. Ethan's face went pale as he stared at me. The voice continued, shaky and desperate. It began describing the exact fight we had argued about 3 hours earlier. Every word, every angry look, the way I had slammed the bedroom door. Then it kept going into details of an argument that hadn't happened yet. "In 4 minutes you're going to accuse me of hiding something, and you'll be right." Ethan looked at me confused. "Sophia, what is this?" I opened my mouth to speak, but the live me and the voice on the phone started overlapping at the exact same second, creating an eerie, layered echo that made my skin crawl. "Stop it," both versions of my voice said together. The caller, my future self, pleaded louder. "He killed me after you opened the door. Please, hang up and run. Don't let him near the balcony." My heart pounded so hard I could feel it in my throat. Ethan reached for the phone to end the call, but the screen wouldn't respond. The voice kept going, predicting every tiny movement. "You're going to step back now. Yes, like that. In 30 seconds, you'll look at the balcony door." We both looked. The phone suddenly switched to a live camera feed from our own balcony, a dark shadow standing perfectly still outside the glass door, waiting. The future me screamed, "He's right there. Don't open it. He's been inside the wall since this morning." Ethan finally slammed the phone down hard on the counter. The screen went black, but the voice kept playing from the speaker for another 10 terrifying seconds, weaker now, fading. "Too late, too late. He's already..." Then silence. We stood there shaking. The pasta was boiling over, but neither of us moved. Ethan grabbed a knife from the drawer while I backed away from the balcony door. The shadow was still visible, tall, motionless, head slightly tilted as if listening to us. We didn't open the door. We didn't even go near it. Instead, we locked ourselves in the bathroom and called the police. When they arrived, the balcony was empty. No footprints, no signs of forced entry. The building's security cameras showed no one coming or going after 9 p.m. But when the officers reviewed the footage from our hallway camera, there was a 3-second glitch exactly at the time the call started. The same glitch that had appeared on the phone screen. We moved out the next morning, broke the lease, told everyone we needed a bigger place, but the truth is I couldn't sleep in that apartment anymore. Because sometimes late at night, Ethan's phone still rings with that same impossible number. I never let him answer it. And every time I close my eyes, I hear my own older voice the same warning. "He killed me after you opened the door." What scares me most is the question that won't leave my mind. If that was me from the future, then why am I still alive today? And if the shadow was already inside the building that night, where is it now? Sometimes when Ethan and I are alone, I catch him staring at the balcony door with a strange, distant look in his eyes. He says he doesn't remember the fight from that night. He says he doesn't remember the call at all. But I do. And I wonder if the man I'm going to marry is the same man who will one day open that door. Or if the real Ethan never came back from that night. The voice warned me. I listened. But maybe listening wasn't enough. Because the call isn't over. It's just waiting for the right moment to finish what it started. I will never celebrate another birthday. My name is Margaret Johnson. Last year, our whole family gathered at our big old house for my youngest grandson's 5th birthday. It was supposed to be a happy night. Grandparents, parents, and 3 grandchildren laughing together. Balloons floated everywhere. Cake waited on the table, and little Tyler wore his bright blue party hat with a big number 5 on it. The living room was warm and noisy with love. At exactly 8:30 p.m., my phone rang. Unknown number. I smiled and answered, expecting one of our relatives calling to wish Tyler a happy birthday. Instead, a child's voice came through, distorted, crying, and full of fear. "Grandma, they're all going to die tonight. Start with Grandpa." The room went quiet. Everyone stared at me. My husband Richard, our son and daughter-in-law, and the 3 kids froze in place. The voice continued, soft and trembling. It listed every single family member by name: Richard, Margaret, Daniel, Emily, Tyler, Sophie, and little Mia, and described exactly what each of us was wearing in the living room. Grandpa has his favorite red sweater. Grandma is wearing the blue dress with white flowers. Tyler still has cake on his cheek. My blood turned cold. No one outside the house could know these tiny details. While we huddled together around the phone, too scared to move, the child's voice began singing the birthday song, but backward. "Yuta birthday happy. Day birth you're on you too." The lights in the entire house started flickering wildly. Then the caller whispered, "I'm the one you didn't invite. I was supposed to turn 5 today too." Suddenly, every family member's phone started ringing at the same time, the same unknown number lighting up all our screens. The sound was deafening. The voice changed. It jumped from one family member's voice to another. First, it sounded like my son Daniel begging, "Mom, please don't look behind you." Then it became my daughter-in-law Emily's voice crying, "Don't turn around." Then it used little Sophie's sweet voice whispering, "Grandma, something is standing right behind you." We stood there shaking, phones pressed to our ears, too terrified to look back. The voice kept switching, begging each one of us not to look behind them. "Don't look, Grandpa. Don't look, Mommy. Don't look." My husband Richard finally couldn't take it anymore. He spun around fast. In the big hallway mirror, he saw a small figure standing perfectly still. It was wearing the exact same bright blue party hat that Tyler had on his head, the one with the big number 5. But when we looked at the mirror, the figure had no reflection on the other side of the glass. It was just there. Empty space where its reflection should have been. The child's voice softly through every phone. "See me now?" The call lasted for what felt like forever. The voice kept singing the backward birthday song, mixing it with and cries in different family voices. Lights kept flickering faster and faster. Tyler started crying and hid his face in my dress. Then, without any warning, the power failed completely. The whole house fell into total darkness and silence. When the lights came back on a few minutes later, every phone had gone dead. The hallway mirror showed only our own terrified faces. The small figure was gone. We called the police immediately. They searched the entire house and yard. No broken windows, No footprints. No sign that anyone had been inside or outside. The phone showed no record of any calls, not even the ones that had rung on all our devices at once. But the security camera in the hallway had caught something strange. At 8:30 p.m., the video glitched for 3 seconds. When it returned, the small figure in the party hat was already standing in front of the mirror. And when the power went out, it vanished in another glitch. No movement, no running away. Just gone. We never stayed in that house again. We sold it quickly and moved far away. The children still have nightmares. Tyler refuses to wear any party hat, even on his new birthdays. But the worst part is what happens now. Sometimes late at night my phone lights up with an unknown number. When I look at the screen, it shows today's date, but the year is wrong. It's always the same day Tyler turned 5. I never answer it, because I'm afraid I'll hear that distorted child's voice again, crying softly, "Grandma, I'm still waiting for my birthday cake." And I know if I pick up, the lights will flicker once more. The backward singing will start. And this time, when someone looks in the mirror, the small figure might not be alone. It might be standing right behind one of us. Watching, waiting, smiling under that bright blue party hat. I will never celebrate another birthday, because somewhere out there, a child who was never invited is still turning 5. Tonight. I never should have answered that phone. My name is Emma. Alex and I were on a romantic weekend getaway in a remote cabin deep in the woods. It was supposed to be perfect. Just the two of us, no distractions, a crackling fireplace, and soft rain tapping on the roof. We had deadbolted the front door, turned off all the lights except one small lamp, and gone to bed feeling safe and in love. At exactly 2 a.m., my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something made me pick up. I put it on speaker so Alex could hear too. A soft female voice spoke, calm and gentle like an old friend. "Emma, I know what happened to your sister in 2017. Alex was there too." My heart stopped. I had never told anyone, not even Alex, the full truth about my sister's disappearance that night. The guilt, the secrets, the lie I told the police. It had stayed buried inside me for 9 long years. Alex turned to me confused. "Emma, what is she talking about?" The voice continued, recounting the exact sequence of events from that terrible night. Every detail, the argument, the car, the dark road, the lie I gave the police about where we were. Things no one else could possibly know. Alex's face went pale. He stared at me like I was a stranger. To know the end of the story, click subscribe.